They want First people in our First Nation. So I absolutely agree with them and their direction that they've given our current chief and council. They want a payout. And not no $1,500 either. $1,500 is not going to buy you a set of winter tires. $1,500 will be 2 trips to Walmart, 2 trips to Johnny's. What's that going to do for our elders? So I've done some research and I've looked into our elder numbers for our First Nation, and those are not big numbers. Our elder numbers, 50 years plus, 50 years and up, sits between 500 and 750 people. 500 and 750 members. So you work with a nice even number of 500. 500 times 5,000. That's $2.5 million, which is not a lot of money to compensate our elders for the hardship that they've endured as a result of this flood. Them and their families have had to work hard to recover and rebuild our First Nation. So I am asking for the elders' support in this year's election. 50 years plus. And if I'm successful in being elected, it'll be minimum $5,000 for our elders. It's not going to be no $1,500. They deserve to be compensated. And it's not no campaign promise, because in 2015, we completed a survey regarding the flood claim. And that survey, from that survey came 11 recommendations. And the first one was the long-term care facility for the elders. The second recommendation was a payout. So in addition to that report, our chief and council held a few community consultations where our elders continued to say, we want a payout. And it's a little upsetting that they have made our elders wait 10 months since receiving the $30 million award. Our elders had a lot of plans. Some had trips planned, some had plans to buy furniture, some had medical appointments that, you know, they were looking to having a little bit of extra spending money on, only to be ignored and disappointed by our current leadership. So I honestly believe that there needs to be more advocacy for our elders at the leadership level, and I'm committed to do that. And I'm not too sure what else I should be talking about, but yes, absolutely, capacity building, employment and training, definitely extremely important. I believe that we need to build up our own capacity in our people. We need to empower our people to pursue their education, to become educated or trained in a specific field or trade. Health and safety. The drug and alcohol, especially the drugs that have plagued our First Nation community, we are not prepared to deal with the effects of the drugs that have swept across our entire First Nation. Sioux Lookout and Hudson are not even prepared. There's been an increase of crime, there's been an increase of gang activity, and there's been an increase of violence. And I believe that we can address the issue firmly with the support and direction from our people. I don't believe that we should be enabling these drug dealers by allowing them to remain in our community. Because those innocent children that are being hurt and that are suffering as a result of these drug addictions and these drugs that are plaguing our community, they need somebody to advocate for them. They need somebody to take a stand and say, no more. You will not continue to take food out of my mouth, and you will not continue to take clothes off my back, and you will not continue to destroy my family. These drug dealers are making a lot of money off of our people. There is no reason for us to house these drug dealers. We can issue BCRs. We can give them 72 hours to vacate their residence, their bathhouse, their Keenowin unit, with a list of rehabilitation recommendations. Not to say that we're going to give up on our people, because you know what? Majority of our people do live in poverty, and majority of the time, that's what causes these individuals to resort to illegal drug dealing. We could give them options. You have a year to rehabilitate yourself. Upon completion of these rehabilitation recommendations, we will review your file and we may reconsider re-entry into the community. But at the same time, we need to look at the healing and the recovery of the people that have become addicted to these drugs. I think we need to be creative as a First Nation. I think we could utilize some of the assets, the capital assets that we currently have in our First Nation community. We have a tourist camp here in Frenchman's Head that sits there 8 months out of the year doing absolutely nothing. With seven cabins, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms, with 2 bedrooms in each cabin, and 1 large main cabin. Why can we not winterize that and turn it into a healing center for our people? We have a lot of families that are involved in child and family services. We have a lot of families that are required to undergo some sort of treatment and rehabilitation. But where do they have to go? Nowhere. The waiting list for treatment is 3 to 6 months. Majority of the time, they don't want to leave home. So as a result, they don't receive the help that they need. So I would like to see a little bit of this floodplain money put towards winterizing a tourist camp that sits there 8 months out of the year doing absolutely nothing, to turn into a healing center for our people, for our families. That's not to say that their tourist season is going to be canceled, but for the winter months, that asset, that capital asset, will be utilized to heal our people. And I honestly think that there, perhaps, you know, I think an audit on all our First Nation economic businesses and partnerships, I think we need a complete review on all of it. I think the membership deserves to be informed of how much, what's the percentage and partnership, and you know, whether it be Gold Corp or what's happened with Tim Hortons, Giant Tiger, Laxwell Resort, you know, all these different business initiatives and projects that we have as a First Nation. But yet we've never been informed, or no information or finances have been shared with us. So I think that's really important as well, because I've, you know, in speaking with the elders in the membership, that's come up time and time and time again. And in speaking with, to mention a little bit more about healing and rehabilitation and recovery, I think it is important that we get back to land-based teachings. And I think it's important for our people to reconnect with the land, with the spirit of our land. Everything is of spirit. And as Anishinaabe people, we have a responsibility to acknowledge that everything is of spirit. And I believe when we start to acknowledge that as a First Nation, it's then that our people will start healing. I was just trying to think of if there was anything else important that I wanted to mention. The elders, women, healing, and air, water, all things sacred, climate. Language, revitalizing our language in our First Nation community, and making the Anishinaabe, the Ojibwe language, first education for our children. Me too, Katie, I'm just starting to learn the language a little bit, but I'm making an honest effort, and a little bit, each day I learn a little bit. And I want to thank the elders for, you know, continuing to teach me, whether it's one word a day or, you know. So language is extremely important as well. But yeah, and the 7 sacred teachings, love, honesty, courage, humility, wisdom, all those good teachings, I think really need to be, and acknowledging our traditional, our sacred items as a First Nation is really important to me as well. I didn't want to make today about, but I do want to mention those sacred items that we do carry as a First Nation, and the spirit of them, like our staff, for example. Our staff sits tucked away in a box or a case. And I honestly think that that needs to be brought out. That we need to get back to recognizing who we are as Anishinaabe people and bringing back those artifacts that are sitting tucked away in a box in a basement somewhere. So with that being said, I really want to just say thank you, Miigwech, for taking the time to be here, for attending in person or online. And I'd like to thank all of those that are currently supporting me in my campaign for Chief and Council. And I want to say miigwech to those that have faith and believe in me and see those leadership qualities in me. And with that being said, miigwech.
Skeshwe, Aja, Mama sick, no way as you can know the man in your chair again. Ganoya, a peasant or a sing chair. Come in the massy when you go on mutton. You want to kick in the money when you're in the snap, baby. Means I win a gift, is a dungy, go. Me master go down to Canada one, oh, any present or dog chag. Me mark and that's all Kion Jimagan. Me a keep in a shot. Can't get on get cans in. Me said, I go and shake cans in. Can I go and matters and get it? As minister got everywhere. Me got be any guardian. Bama ni kenda mana no gagi kono magood. Miya kina ote English ke anji maganga je kono magood. Skaya tashwe no gam. Ane aj nikcha awan gedin. Niwa bandani eje mamas niwa bandani no go e bin na kulige na anjo. Kangita bja sinanik kcha. Awen zakcha kange gon kensin og nenta. Misma ik kino e gon anjo birun jima ganga janishna bemo. Kino e gon ga minisha ga tek. Kange igi buni tom ni eta the mind. And that's where I think, you know, when we talk about our tradition, our culture, values, the elders have spoken when I was young. And they said to listen. You have not learned anything if you don't listen. Listen to the words that I teach you and keep them. As you can't imagine, that's how you learn. We think as elders, as older people, but then when I was young, I thought of them as people with wisdom, that there are many traditional knowledge that we have not today never acknowledged. We never use our elders because we don't allow them because no change can dust to get them in. I know more than my elder. Over the number of years that I was living for 6 to 7 years, I finally understand that an elder has more knowledge than I do, and I'm still learning. He's still teaching me the things that are important to me as an Anishinaabe. And I carry that. I have more to learn. And learning from my elders is the one thing that we need to do. The Anishinaabe, there's our teachers. There we go. We have access to knowledge. We have access to wisdom and guidance. We don't listen to those traditional teachings that happened when we were small. Oh, we have residential school issues. Yeah, I do that too. I have that too. But I carried my Anishinaabe one. That's what he told me. Keep your language. Retain your language. Don't lose it. Don't lose your teachings. Because the teachings are the most important things that can carry you through any turmoil. Because you are Anishinaabe. Mchigozhivan is your second language. And that's what was spoken to me. Mchigozhivan will mean nothing. But you are Anishinaabe, Miyajigitan, Miyajitewatan. Bizinda Vashan, Kchak, Bizinda Sandavaka Kchak, Kavigitwat, Kigon Magonjik Kiandan. If you listen to the elders, you'll learn. But it's all about to be Anishinaabe, to have that sense of pride. The bank chain and again, you have to come on Anishinaabe, Anishinaabe Mogan, Ganawandan, Zakton, Gananamajandazin. Mia Jixkitan, the Bam, the Bemosean, Anishnin, the Anishinaabe. Mishan K, as you be Knuga, take me as again in the Mishome, a big on shit. Bizindan Kcha, you might carry given Ezik Kentam gave one. You meet the Mago and you Kanawagazin. You listen to your elder so that he can guide you. Learn from him what he has learned from his elders. Kan je niet aan zijn dag getoond zien dat ik het daar nog dat mag kan gaan. Ik het toon in het. Geen die wat me is net als die andere. The ones that we elect. Ik het toon in het. Ik check dan die gaan ik ook. The elders should be sitting in front of us. But they have more knowledge than we do. They carry the wisdom of our ancestors. And I hope, that's the one thing that bothers me. Did we lose our traditional knowledge, or the guiding principles of our lives when we call ourselves Anishinaabe? I fear that we may be losing it because of this second language and assimilation and colonialism. A sense of pride of being Anishinaabe, to be proud of it, is to be able to speak the language and carry those traditions. It is our culture and our values that makes us a nation. And we should be proud of that. We should be able to, go out and learn our language, because that makes you who you are. If it takes a person from Denmark one year to learn Anishinaabe, it kind of puts a perspective on what we can't even do, but yet we call ourselves Anishinaabe. That's one of the issues that we need to acknowledge. We've got teachers here, we've got teachers from the elders who speak the language. All we need to do is listen. The business the mind. And if you know, you can't now Anishinaabe when Bichnin, Kiabigating, Gnomagas. I'm still learning from my elders. No matter where I go, pause. I listen to the elder when they speak. I don't hold myself higher than him. He is my teacher. Every elder that we see, that's our teachers, the future of our people. And we take that to our youth, so they can learn to become the true Anishinaabe. We must learn to teach. The problems that exist today because we didn't listen. We forgot to listen. We have problems the things that we call transparency because we forgot to listen. We forgot the ways of our people. Sometimes it's very hard to sit by and hear what's happening in the past couple of years, and I don't know, it just seems hard why our own people don't understand each other. I think a lot of it, I grew up with most of it, our families have Ashen Divid. That's a very ugly word. Hate, whatever you call it. Just because one person had a name from another distant land, I guess they would call it. Kaya siya ni Magani, maski go. For a while there, I didn't know if I was any different from the person next to me, who was just as Anishinaabe as I was, but I grew up with that. My brother sits over there, he grew up with that. So there are a lot of things that there's my cousin sitting over there too. We learned to acknowledge that. Because our elders told us not to listen. Be their friend, be their Nietzsche, no matter what. So we grew up like that, listening to the elders when they spoke. And that's what we're doing today, and the election. We hope that all of us learn to use that knowledge and not walk away from it. Good being empty water when you're not. Tradition gives you strength because it gives you who you are. As Anishinaabe, it's not a bad word. It's a word that belongs to our people. It's our guiding tool for thousands of years. He teaches us all that. We live in harmony, together, without having shame or hate or whatever the negative stuff that we have that are going on now. We learn to help one another, share. And that's how I look at life. Sometimes it's hard, but I have to wake up in the morning feeling thankful that I'm still alive today, and thankful for all the Anishinaabe for being here. But I guess with all the other issues that we have and how we need to deal with them together, no matter where you're from, we need to work together in forming a goal where everybody is equal, not different. We need to share our wisdom, because I think if I was to say that I'm the smartest person in this candidacy, I'd be egotistic. Here's another negative point. So I want to learn from my people. You have been chosen as leaders. We seek your knowledge, your wisdom, and we seek your guidance. And that's how we should implement our promises that we've been saying. Because it's time, I think, we start listening to our elders, getting the guidance, and the tools that we need to be able to speak for our people. Our young people need to be sitting up here too, talking about their issues. We need to work together. We need to be open. We need to speak from our hearts. And all the things, all the knowledge that we have in our tradition, what I carry, I give to you. Because I believe and I honor you. And I believe in you, that we can work together. vassal, powerful nation. We need to acknowledge that tradition so we can fight for what we believe in as a Anishinaabe. Mira na mas que toque, na mais nem pa, amigos.
Oh, big much for that. I guess we've gone a little past 5 p.m. So before anybody leaves, I think I'd like to ask our Elder Andy Laxul to close with a prayer. And once again, I'd like to thank everybody, all the candidates, for coming out and attending, and the members in person and those online. Miigwech.
Miigwech, kitinanan manito, emininang umache pasenda ongo, oko kawi kakwe oke makani wewat. Anin kevin oisho andamawat, anin geshimino saying kino tamo pesakokang kawi aste akapiging chotapenang oke makan. Miigwech kitiko manito, wewe nongong kabisinda manga nine kitananyo kay missionam minuseven kay minuteven chiabachtuang we chotapananget oinen maya kekskito to wenyuan kai kitoachto tamuat. Creator, we thank you for giving us this chance to listen to our people who want to become chiefs, and we thank you for giving us good health, and we ask you to give safe journey to those who are leaving our community to go back to their own communities. Miigwech to go manito. Amen.
A mosquito. I should let him bite me for a while.
Oh my goodness.
I can close this now.
Yeah, you can close that.
95%.
Some of the people have left already.